I got too many games. I gotta at least try them all. This is my first impression backlog Death March. Here we've got the Legends of Murder Collection. So we've got two volumes in here. It is playing in DOSBox because this is a pretty old game. But let's see. Let's try number one. Do Legends of Murder, 1993. Wow. On a disc monthly. Oh, geez, they probably actually did just mail out like discs monthly. That was a time. Holy crap. Da-da-da. The copyrighted, yep, blah, blah, blah. Press page down to read the Softdisk publishing warranty. Wow. Sure, those phone numbers are deactivated. You feel ill, and spending the morning at sea didn't help very much. You pull yourself together and realize that you don't even know where to go. An elf hired you and told you to come as soon as possible to investigate the king's murder of 2 days past. To investigate the king's murder of 2 days past. He obviously heard of your expertise in solving the Baldwin murder last year in 492. You know little of this elf, or the kingdom for that matter, other than one of the four men would rise to the throne if the king were to die. You also know from rumors aboard the ship that brought you here, the salt spray, that the king was killed by sorcerous means. Okay, let's hit F1 help. Let's see here. Okay, search, cast a spell, game save, inspector status, toggle description display. Okay, so see the stonedal.txt for more detailed information. Wow. Okay. And just, it's going to tell us forever that, hey, this is Legends of Murder by Jamie Schmaltz. Is that Schmaltz? Whatever. Searching, you find nothing of interest. Okay, I'm hitting the arrow keys. Oh, yep, there I am. The red dot must be my face. You stand in the cold and very empty entry hall. The torches along the walls shed light on all but the shadow ceiling above. You can see the room has been kept clean except for a few muddy footprints on the polished stone floor near the door. Are those your footprints, I take it? Oil lamps hanging from the domed ceiling illuminate the immense gray marble statue which dominates this room. The statue is of a tall and noble-looking man clad in armor. The plaque informs you that this is the recently deceased king. You find nothing of interest. Unusual about the stone statue. So yeah, really not using much of the allotted space. Oh geez, you gotta really get it fine-tuned in there. You just got this tiny little window to the left. That's how things worked back then. A burly guard blocks your way. Visitors may not access these passages without a pass card, he says gruffly. Okay. Nothing of interest. What is the password? That is incorrect. Okay, I guess we gotta go around. Statue. So, geez, you really gotta get like right up next to stuff. You peek inside of the suit and find a lot of dust. I think these are suits of armor. Guessing dust, maybe something in this last one. Okay, this is obviously the ballroom. Beautiful crystal chandeliers hang from the ceiling far above. Bright sunlight falls through the high windows, and across the white stone floor. In the far corner, a small group of minstrels play for the couple who dance gracefully before you. And, okay, so there's a couple in here. Let's cast a spell. You have no knowledge of spells yet. Okay. Room is filled with tables and chairs, each stacked upon one another to the point of toppling. Looking past the massive furniture, you see shelves along the back wall, rising as high as the stacked tables. They seem to contain ornaments such as candles, ribbons, dried flowers, and other decorations. Find nothing of interest. What do you know what I find interesting here? You Huge stone statues stand near the walls of this dimly lit room. Looking at them, you understand that they were rulers of ages long past. As you look to the end of the hall, you see a shadowy figure staring into the stony eyes of one of the statues. Okay, do I need to approach these? Is there a way? What again? All right, inspector status. Let's try the inspector status. D, toggle description display. Z and D. Okay, let's try those. Z. Inspector. Fighter level 1. I like how they actually write out the word 1. Strength, poor, agility. You are in perfect health. Okay. Interesting. What does D do? Descriptions off. Descriptions on. Okay, yeah, let's keep the descriptions on. The torchlight reveals an unhappy young man who looks remarkably similar to the statue which he is staring at. Hello, the young man begins gloomily. I understand that you seek the king's murderer. I am Prince Morgan. I was asleep at the time of the death, so I can't tell you much. Maybe the guards can, but I heard that they were asleep also. As to who killed my uncle, well, Lord Charon is my bet. That pompous fool always wanted the throne, even when my father was ruling. He is a power-hungry demon, just as bad as the one that just died. I will put Lord Charon down in your notes as a likely suspect. Thank you. Okay, this one says something different. You realize, Inspector, says the prince, that I don't want to rule, never had the lust for power that Lord Charon has. But if the crown was offered to me, I would accept it. I think that much could be accomplished here, and I might have to be the one to do it. Alright, that one gives us a slightly different attacks. So we walk back to this guy, and we can... Oh, by the way, you may need the password. It's Basilisk. There we go. So you basically walk back and forth, and you kind of auto-talk to him. Morgan sits there leaning against the statue. He glances at you and then stares off into the shadows once again. So I think if we walk back there, he'll get the same thing. Yep. And if you're standing right next to something, you can't, like, turn to face it. We've already are dealing with, like, 5 total pixels worth of, graphics, and they decide to, constrain it even further, just like, the 3 in this one little screen. Classic game design. Let's see, this looks like a restroom. Our kitchen. Kitchen is a clutter of pots and pans and stacked dishes. Fire pit over which a number of large pots boil furiously lies at the center of the room. Racks and cupboards align the north wall with a large counter fills the western portion of the room. To your right, you see a woman stacking dishes in a cabinet. Hello, stacking woman. But nothing of interest. What is this? What is this? Is this the cabinet? Hello, woman. Before you, a gorgeous girl stacks plates and mugs in a large wooden cabinet. She looks back at you and smiles. Hi, I'm Sasha. You are the inspector, right? She inquires. Then, with a wry grin, she says, slinking about the castle searching for clues, are you? Yeah, that's kind of my job. Let's see if she says anything again. Okay, Sasha turns to you and says, I sincerely hope you do find the murderer. I don't feel very safe in the castle now that there is a murderer on the loose. I'm not sure if I can help your investigation very much, but I do recall one particular event, one on the eve of the murder. I was approaching midnight. It was approaching midnight, and I was returning to my room when I saw a dark figure enter the hall to the chapel and dragon's room. The dragon's room. Sasha is selecting spices from a huge jar at the back of the cabinet for the roast, she says. It's weird what the trigger is to talk to Sasha. Okay? Because you think, when you walk back to the cabinet, but no, it's when you start walking away from the cabinet, then she's like, okay. So, not sure what to say there, but seems to be a combination pantry and bedroom. A small pallet lies in the far corner, and various shelves and cupboards cover the walls. Find a small cot and a number of cabinets. Why the cot? Okay. Let's go type in the password and get into some trouble. Looks like we can kind of sneak our way back here. The back way. This room contains a number of large couches and chairs with a few huge pillows placed here and there. What is this? Kind of a lounge? There's a small marble table here. Well, thank you. Rich tapestries and banners hang on the walls on either side of the room above handsomely carved chairs. You stand on the far end of a plush, deep red carpet which extends toward a huge white dais of white and blue marble. Upon the dais sits an onyx throne, huge and majestic. Above and behind the throne is a banner of a white serpent. The man is grinning at you from the bench to the south. Ah, the jester, the man before you, bows deeply and says, Greetings, Lord Inspector. I am, as you see, the court jester Sayor. I assume you are well on your way to solving the murder. Well, I'm sure you don't need a jester's help, but if you just happen to get stuck, which I'm sure you will not, here is a little clue that may help your explorations. Alright, I'm guessing maybe that's something to do with copyright protection. Ancient copyright protection on some of these games can be kind of interesting. The Joker leaps up and bounds towards you. You got it, didn't you? No, not yet. Well, that's all right. He pats you on the head. Keep trying. You'll get it someday. Or it might just be a simple replacement cipher or something like that. And it looks like he doesn't give you the code again. So, I mean, whoops. Found a small cord by the throne. You give it a tug and hear a gong sound in the distance. The Joker looks at you from across the room. I hope you realize that nobody will answer that. All right. Yeah, let's go hand in that password. There's that stuff over to the right there. But whatever. This is, I think I have my first impression of this, which definitely very, very old school, which, isn't necessarily bad. It's just, a thing. Basilisk. That is correct. And what did that unlock? Did it unlock the bathroom? Alright, the tall warrior looks down at you and says, You must be the man that the elf was talking about. I am Eric, captain of the guard, and I can tell you who the murderer is. It's the wizard. That scrawny mage killed him with his sorcery. Who else could it be? He has been seen only a few times in the last month, and then he was seen 2 days ago heading for the city. Later that evening, past midnight, two dark figures were reported leaving the castle grounds. One was supporting the other, most likely the wizard and one of his creations. Okay, so yeah, this is Legends of Murder. This is the first one. So I don't know. Let's see if we can. Do you really wish to quit? Yes. Let's see if they have any improvements. Okay, this one looks like it's pretty much the same kind of thing. They pretty much probably just use the exact same system with a few upgrades. But yeah, still generally the same thing. Okay. Looks like I have some gear though. Inspector Fighter level 1, they have it. Number 1 here. There we go. So yeah, you definitely have to be in a mood for old school with all that entails. Old school stuff can be kind of definitely kind of a thing. And you can tell that there's like no audio in this either, so I don't know, maybe put on some music or something, but yeah, there you go. Legends of Murder 1 and 2. Till next time, later.